Hello, welcome to Success Marshall. My name is Familiar Success. I'm a software quality assurance engineer, and I'll be taking you through this today. Alright, so if today's your first time on this channel, kindly click on this subscribe button and also the notification bell. And if you are a returning subscriber or you have been coming to this channel but yet to subscribe, kindly click on the subscribe button and the notification bell. And for a returning subscriber, kindly share this video so that others can also make use of it, so you'll be helping others to also learn one or two things. Okay, so today we are going to be looking at Cypress, how to locate using how to locate web locators in Cypress, of course making use of Xpath and making use of SelectorHub. In the previous video, we already looked at how to locate web locators in Cypress, making use of CSS selectors like the class, the class attribute, the ID attribute, attribute value, and combination of class and attribute value. Now, before we can make use of Xpath in Cypress, we need to install a plugin using the npm command, npm install -d Cypress Xpath, and then we add the Xpath command to the end-to-end.js file, and also we install the we are going to install the SelectorHub for your web browser in order to make use of it in Cypress. So without further delay, let's get started with this. Now, in the previous video, you are going to see that we looked at Cypress locators.site.js, where we make use of the CSS, all of this. So I'm going to be copying this file right away. So I'll just press Ctrl+CV to copy this file and rename this file. So I'm going to rename this file to Cypress locator Xpath. Let me just say Cypress Xpath. Cypress Xpath locators. That's what I renamed this to, and of course I will rename this as well to Cypress CSS locators. Okay, good. Now, the first thing we need to do right here is to run this file, okay, to see whether everything is fine. So to do that, you need to come to your terminal and say nps cypress open to open up the Cypress engine. So the Cypress engine is up. So I'm going to run this file, Cypress Xpath locators. Right, so now let's run it and see what's going to happen with this. Now it's currently running, so it means all tests are currently passing. Okay, all tests are currently passing. So we have 4 tests and 4 passes, so there's nothing failing. All right, so that's the current position that we are in the last video. So today, let's quickly see what we will do here. Now we are going to make use of Xpath. Okay, so what we need to do is to change this. Let me say Cypress Xpath locators. Okay, now here I'm going to change this to test 1. Okay, test 1. Okay, so also this I'll change it to test 2. Okay, and I'll change this to test 3. Okay, and I will change this to test 4. All right, good. Now we are done with this. So what we need to do next is to actually change all of these get to Xpath, because we are going to make use of Xpath here. Xpath. Okay, then we're going to make use of Xpath. Okay, and also we are going to make use of XPath. Okay, great. Now we have done all of this, and you realize that we change everything from get to XPath. So it means for each of these web elements, we have to locate them using XPath. But currently we are locating all of this using we are locating this with class, this with ID, and of course this with attribute value, and of course this one with the class and attribute value. So we are going to change all of them to XPath. So to do that, we need to go to the web page. So let me copy this. So first thing you need to do is to copy this URL, and of course go to your web browser and slash. So currently I'm on the page, as you can see. Now what you need to do first is to come here and say, and you right click, go to inspect. Okay, after you get to inspect, you need to also right click here and go to copy and copy full XPath. So having copied the full XPath, go back to your editor, code editor, and paste the XPath there. Yeah, great. We have done that. So the next thing you need to do is go to the magenta radio button, and from there you also do the same thing. Okay, that's the magenta, right? Inspect, okay, and copy the full XPath as well. Okay, so having done that, you are going to copy and paste it here too. Now you go to the third test. The third test is speaking to first name actually. So we are going to go there again and come to the first name and inspect, and of course we right click again, inspect, and copy the full XPath. Okay, so having done that, you're going to paste here. All right, now here let's change this first name to last name. Okay, so I'm going to come and say last name, all right, and say inspect, okay, and say copy XPath. All right, having done that, you come back here and paste the full XPath so that we can make use of it here. Great, we are done with all of this. So let's run this test and see whether it will be passing. Okay, so let's go back to our test, our Cypress engine, and run the test. Okay, now sharply, Cypress is telling us sci.xpath is not a function. Sci.xpath is not a function. So remember that Cypress is a plugin that we have to use in XPath is a plugin that we have to make use in Cypress. So to do that, we need to install it, making use of the npm command. So what we need to do is to open a new terminal. All right, from the new terminal you are going to type npm install. You're going to type npm install -d, all right, Cypress XPath, okay, and let it install. Okay, so having pressed enter, it's installing right now. Okay, so Cypress is already XPath is installed. Cypress has installed XPath from the npm packages. Now that is done already. So we need to run this again and see whether it will pass. Okay, and what we need to do right here is to actually open our npm, open our Cypress engine again. So let it come up again. All right, so it's coming up right now. Yep, we have it here. So what you need to do is to run it again, and let's see. Okay, now we are running it again. I'm expecting this to actually fail. Okay, so let's see what happens. All right, great. Now it's failing. It's still saying Cypress is not a function, even though we have already installed XPath. It's still saying XPath is not a function. So what do we need to do at this junction? Go back to your code editor. In your E2E folder under the support, you need to put a required command. All right, and you're going to say Cypress, okay, XPath. All right, so having written this now of code, now you go back and you go back to your Cypress engine and run the test again. Let's see what happens this time. Great, Cypress is already running. Okay, Cypress is running currently. So the first test is passed, second test is passed, okay, and of course the third test is passed as well, and the fourth test is also passed. So it means we have 4 of 4 tests passed. Okay, 4 of 4 tests passed. All right, so now great, it means that's how we can make use of XPath in Cypress. Okay, you need to install it. After installing it, you need to put the command in the required XPath command in the e2e.js file before Cypress can recognize it. Okay, so that is it as far as XPath is concerned. Now let's take a look at how we can make use of SelectorHub in Cypress. So to make use of SelectorHub in Cypress, the first thing you need to do is to come to your search and say SelectorHub. All right, search for it and you can see the official site. Click on the official site and go there. So once you get there, it will say, you can see this SelectorHub. So I'm going to install this. Before, I've already installed SelectorHub in my browser, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to do that process again. So here I'm going to click on manage extensions and I will remove it. Okay, I will remove it, yes, so that I can reinstall that so you can see how it works exactly. Okay, great. Now having removed it, I'll come back to this and you can see different kind of browser, whether you want to use Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Opera, Brave, Chromium, Tor, wherever browser you want to use. But for this for the most of this, I'm getting use of Chrome browser, so I'm going to click on install. All right, so having clicked on that, you see add to Chrome. Okay, and I'm going to click add to Chrome, add extension, and oops, that is already done. Okay, now I'll go back to my extension. So on my extension, okay, on Chrome extension, you can see that it is back right here. So once you check, find out whether this button is turned on. So if it's not turned on, you'll not be able to make use of it. So turn it on. Now, having done that, you can now make use of SelectorHub to locate your web element. Now, what we are going to do is to make use of SelectorHub to locate this first element right here. Okay, let's make use of for this email. Okay, I will say okay, so email. All right, I'll say SelectorHub and I'll say copy the ID. All right, so let me paste it here. Okay, so this is still picking. This is currently picking the XPath I copied the last time. So let me do a refresh of this page. Okay, so I have done the refresh of this page. So I'm going to copy ID and I'll say, okay, I'm pasting it. You can see it's saying email. Okay, so let me copy selector. Okay, and the selector is also copying the ID like this. So SelectorHub, let me copy the relative path. Okay, copying the relative path, you can see what I'm getting. So that's how SelectorHub works. It's just so perfect, so easy for you. Instead of going through the DOM and start searching and all of that, you can just do it this way. So I'm going to copy using the ID, copy ID, okay, email. All right, so let's go back to our text editor. And from our text editor, what you need to do is, okay, open this file and then let us make use of here as the ID locator. Okay, and I will say email. Then here I will say Cypress tutorial@gmail.com. Okay, great. So at this junction, what we need to do is to just run this test only. All right, we want to run this test only. So okay, let's run this and see. Let's run this and see. All right, so let's go back and see run. All right, so it's working currently. Okay, so it is failing. So why is it failing? If you look at it, you will see that we only put email. There is no anything to identify whether it is actually a class or an ID, or we are still making use of Xpath as its locator method. So now let's go back and change this to get, because this is not Xpath here. This is an ID, and we are going to make use of the arch symbol. Okay, so the test should pass this time. All right, let's run it again. Great. So our test is currently passing. 4 of 4 tests passed. As you can see, it's passing. Great. So that is how to make use of both Xpath and SelectorHub in Cypress. Share this video to others so that they can also learn. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.